great-grandfather came here from Sicily in like 1905, the melting pot thing, Ellis Island. And apparently he paid the guy at the gate some money to keep the Magnante, because a lot of people, that would become Magnum or something. They rounded them off. A lot of people lost their names. So it's wonderful, but it's a curse. And so they have to say the G silent like lasagna. You don't say the G, so Steve Maggs, they go,
I'm not going to do the intro. I'm going to ask Steve to do it.
Sure. All
right. For Model Car Muse.
Well, Steve Magnante here with Doug White. I should know these names better, but I've seen your videos, the Model Car Muse, and I'm a fellow model car builder. And it's funny, I'm 57 years old. Yeah, I color my hair. You have to. If you get an audition, you'll leave the room. They'll say he's great, but he looks too old. So you have to color your hair if you do television. So anyway, with that said, I did Steve Magnante's Supermodels for Motor Trend. We did 4 episodes of that. Mostly it's Junkyard Crawl, that kind of stuff. I love junkyards.
So here at the Connecticut Street Rod Association, first annual Model Car Kit Show, Steve brought some of his builds.
My thing is altered wheelbase cars, and these ones on the right here, these are sort of mine. And this one I built this thing in 1978 when I was 14 years old. And you'll see this is black and white on this side. It's blue and white on that side. That's because the Ram Charger 65 Coronet by MPC in 1978 was like a $100 kit, and you couldn't find them. And the Lindbergh and Fred Cady Ram Chargers didn't exist, so I used to cut these out of Hot Rod magazine from the Ram Charger Speed Shop ads, and then put testers on the back, smear it on, and there it is. So I built this in '78, my first altered wheelbase car. So anyway, so I used tape here and flat white paint. Didn't know better, but again, I still have it. Somehow my dad didn't throw it away, which is good. Altered wheelbase cars, I don't know, to me they were an interesting period of drag racing history when the door slammer wasn't outmoded by the flip-top funny car,
right.
And it was still kind of cars,
And it was how these guys solved the problem to get what they felt at the time was the way to do weight
traction, and it worked, that's how you get 60% of the weight on the back tires standing still, and then 100% when you're moving. And it wasn't about doing wheelies, it was a balanced thing, and they actually did work,
Just getting it to hook. Yeah.
And I do floating models. This thing right here, if you look at, this one actually, there's actually a gyroscope in there. I had at NASA. This is actually from the space shuttle. I'm joking. There's a lead weight in the tail. Put that on your palm.
I'll believe you. I feel like I should be over here, but I don't have to.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of weight in the tail, and it's all inside of here. And you cut flats in the tires right here, so that the thing sits and has a reference, and it's like it's doing a wheel. Yeah, and it just basically sits and just hovers,
And it bobbles.
And when you do this, you have to have a driver. I'm not a big figurine kind of guy, so you have to whip something together. And I use bare metal foil to fake. There's that.
And the cutouts in the back window, the backlight.
Yeah. You just take and that's thin. It might go through, but that's thin Mylar stuff. You can't really get that done on the plastic in the kit because it's going to craze. It's too thick. You might be able to get it done, but I just do this and it's glued in the perimeter and get it done. So it's just the Brutus GTO. To me, the best way if you have a GTO shell, do this. Who would not build an altered wheelbase GTO? But I love funny cars. They're cool. And the Brutus GTO was one of the meanest funny cars to me. Had a Chrysler, but they had a Pontiac for a little while. That heavy-headed Morton Thompson thing, and a 421 wedge before that. But and Jim Lieberman, Jungle Jim Lieberman, was the driver of this thing for the first year and a half. And then Lou Arrington took over when Lieberman got his own gig going on with his Nova. But anyway,
which was a good gig in itself. So for altered wheelbase, I mean, these are basically what look like drag cars. They're lettered up. Any street freaks? Are you into that at all?
I built like these things here for a while. I call these funny car folk art. My buddy Eddie has these now, but they're sort of like I build them so that they're launching hard and like the suspension. And there's a car called Seton Shaker. It was a '66 Chevelle that always launched like this. Had coil springs in the back, and a real racer would say that's an inefficient. You're wasting a tenth. I think it looks awesome. And so these are kind of funky, weird looking things. Suspension hanging, dangling, and twisting like that. So it's sort of. So I guess you'd call that a street freak.
Well, it's got that flavor of what Ed Roth brought out.
Yeah, there's that.
Where there was like that awkward kind of launch with all going on.
Like it's on the edge of self-destructing, you know what I mean? And, twisting, and the driver becomes a bowl of soup.
Cool.
This is a Johan 69 Roadrunner, and I moved the wheelbase on this thing, and it's the Johan kit, and I moved everything forward like they would have. And the body works inside of here, and it's got an injected Hemi. And to me, the injection, the 8-stack injection, is like the crown on the king's head. It's better than carburetors or even a blower. They just look awesome. And Mobius, when they came out with the '65 Golden Commandos car, this kit right here, that kit is a raw material city, and like the wheels and tires and things come from that. But also Revell, when they came up with the '67 GTX and Charger, you can do a steering front end with torsion bars and stuff. The rare stuff on this kit are these are the Keystone wheels from the Johan Sox and Martin '71 Barracuda. They do the best Keystone. Now they're funny. There's no lug nut detail, but the rest of it is beautiful. There's no other Keystone that looks right. So these are like some $100 wheels on this, because you got to buy the kit, take the wheels, and you got a $10 kit when you take the wheels out of it. But yeah, so.
But
it's a what if.
A Mopar with Keystone is like just right. I thank you. It's been really good talking.
Sure. Yes, check out my Steve Banks YouTube channel, and every day we do a junkyard crawl video, which is basically an evolution of the old Roadkill's Junkyard Gold show, which was on Motor Trend On Demand, and they didn't renew it. That's fine, so I just went and did YouTube. And the beauty of YouTube is that if you have a story to tell, YouTube, man, bring it on. It's great,
He knows how to pack in all the information.
Well, you only live once, right? Yeah. Why bite your tongue?